Good day and welcome aboard, everyone. My name is HarleyTrek, and these are the voyages. It is a beautiful Sunday morning, nice and cool, and I know it's been a while, but here's Betty. I don't want my video productions of late to seem rather slanted one bike to the other. And I guess it's an interesting problem to have. Which bike do I ride today? But you know, if you're like me and you have bikes at different ends of the spectrum, so to speak, that it just depends on what you're in the mood for, I guess. I am out for an early morning Sunday cruise before the temperatures get excessive. And I don't have much of anything to talk about. Well, I do have some odds and ends, I guess. But first, I'd like to apologize for the length of yesterday's video. I got to editing and realized that I didn't shut up long enough to cut anything out. So it was a little bit longish, and for those of you that stuck around for the whole thing, thank you very much. I do indeed appreciate it. I was involved in a Facebook exchange yesterday afternoon that happened to corral another couple of motovloggers in, my Kaylee 7 and the Smyrna Cowboy. And the post was something along the lines of, do you hate your voice on a tape recorder when you listen to it on a tape recorder? And you know, I could just about unequivocally, oh good grief, unequivocally, yes, thank you, diction is a plus, say that without a doubt all of us hate hearing our own voices. I think it might be indeed be the height of conceit if you say, ooh, I've got a great voice. Perhaps not. But you know, we were talking about how how we all despised the sounds of our own voice, and I commented that motovlogging solved that for me, and it has. I mean, I don't hate the sound of my own voice, and since I spent my formative years in varying areas of the southeastern United States, I think that perhaps my southern drawl has been moderated a bit over the years. Now, the strength of my accent varies depending on A, if I'm drinking, or B, if I'm hanging out with a bunch of other southern folk. Let's say it gets a bit thick. But where do we stop at? I've never been this way before. Let's go this way. One more gear. But I don't speak for a living, thank goodness. Although I have been told by several over the years, actually, that I should do voiceover work. I don't know that I'm exactly buying it, but I had an employee back when I managed Barnes & Noble booksellers here in town that, and he was an art teacher and an English teacher. He worked for me part-time. Great older fellow. Ooh, Stanford Place. I wonder if there's a house up there Mama would like. I didn't even know this was back here. But he said that with a little bit of coaching that I could very easily make a living with the old pipes. And I never pursued it. I'm not a professional orator. Now, the other gentlemen in the discussion, well, there were others in the discussion, but these two were motovloggers. Mike Haley, 7, he's a teacher, so he makes his living with his voice, although not in the, I guess, the traditional public sense. If he can't speak, I don't think he could teach, especially as he's English as a second language professor. The Smyrna Cowboy claims that his claim to fame was announcing blue light specials back in the day at the local Kmart. For those of you that are maybe unfamiliar with Kmart, it was well, it's almost gone, but it is a big box retailer, poor man's Target, if you will, or similar in flavor, although not size and scope, to a Walmart. So I'm no stranger to a public address. Ooh, this is nice back here, provided I don't get killed. Is that banjo music I hear? Ahead, 1/4 impulse power. I would make, I've conducted employee / staff meetings for years. I ain't scared of speaking in front of anyone. And of course, I put this out on these videos out on the internet. There's no telling how many people see them. I know there's a select bunch of you. I've got 120 subscribers, and my videos average 60 to 90 views, so I think that's pretty good coverage, actually. Thank you again. But I would always, well, not always, but I would crack employees up when I was in my retail guys, and I would make my closing announcements, and that was entertaining. Not very. Old Chattanooga Valley Road. I thoroughly don't know where I am. Let's go right. But not yet. I don't want to die. It wasn't so bad when I managed drugstores, getting people out at 9 o'clock when we closed. But it was terrible getting people to leave the dang bookstore at 11 o'clock. And people think, and I've never understood this, if people come in, as long as they can get in the door, like it could be 5 seconds to me locking the door, but as long as they're in, they feel like they're entitled to take as long as they damn well please. And it was just totally infuriating. I prefer mine to have a throttle, thank you very much. Let's see. I think the closing announcement went something like this. Now, it's been 15 years, almost 16 years since I've done this. Attention shoppers, your Barnes & Noble booksellers will be closing for the evening in approximately 5 minutes. Please make your final selections and move to the front cash registers at this time. Thank you for shopping with us, and have a nice night. And I would make that at 5-minute intervals starting at about 10 of. And I would usually have to alter it till we are closed. It was for those reticent shoppers who couldn't get the obvious message. We would then start flipping off lights, which was not company policy, but at 11 o'clock, we're still looking at 45 minutes to an hour before we can leave if we get everybody out at 11 o'clock. We have to recover the store, we have to shelve books, we have to clean, we have to mop. The cafe needs to be cleaned and prepped for the next morning. I miss those days, and then I don't miss those days. I worked with a great bunch of people, and a very diverse bunch. It was my first experience with, a more, shall we say, cosmopolitan mix of people. So it was a great time, and we all had books in common. There. Why don't I just take the sign down, people? But does public speaking bother you? Do you not care? I can't really imagine that. I said that everybody hates the sound of their own voice. I have it difficult to believe that, say, Morgan Freeman hates the sound of his own voice. Fair warning. I'm just going to keep on rambling instead of breaking this up, and I'll split it up into as many parts as necessary to get it all done.